Hi, my name is Crystal Jewell, and this is my first poetry slam submission. The title of this poem is called Sweet William, and it's essentially a personification of the wildflower that grows in the spring called Sweet William. So here it is. My darling, Sweet William, curled up by the creek, bellowing to the rhythm of a penniless boy's feet, washing and waiting by your blossoming blue eyes, quietly caroling to a lover's lullabies. Ephemeral and beautiful, it's true, nothing lasts. Faded fragrance, wilted petals, your allure will too pass. Spring will turn summer, summer will turn fall. Soon you'll be a memory like you weren't here at all. Until then, you'll be admired. Lingering thoughts will transcend. Life is in abundance. Beneath the trees we'll befriend. My darling, Sweet William, our paths will cross again at the cottonwood by the creek, humming tunes till day's end. Thank you. Hi, again, my name is Crystal Jewell, and this is my second poetry slam submission titled Ode to Red Lipstick on a Wine Glass, which I wrote in community college during my poetry writing class, which really ignited my passion for poetry. How to summarize this? Basically, this is about the many different faces that alcohol holds in our minds depending on who you ask. It can be good, it can be used recreationally, it can be spiritually, it can be classy, or it could be evil. It can be abused. It can be a sin to drink. So this is a compilation of all of the different perceptions of alcohol, specifically wine. So here it goes. Splendor of a scarlet rose, attached to a letter from a forgotten lover, fretting over their loss. Your poison so sweet, outcome ever bitter, even so you're assertively offered and arrogantly accepted. You've been kissed by the drunks, the prosperous, even the holy find an excuse to choke down your contents. Filled with innocence, drained with recklessness, forsaken with a crimson smear, staining your purity, clouding your clarity. Obscurity, mistaken for lucidity, intended to be tasteful, you become tacky, tarnished with more worthy makeup. Corruptions poured down the pipes, your sins washed away. A prayer of repentance whispered with a hint of dissent. Thank you.
Oh, hello. My name is Damon Cari, and I have a poster here at the conference as well entitled Looking Beyond the Limits of Physics. I hope you have a chance to check it out. And the title of my poem today is Bat. Bat, bat, bat. Incoming bat. This is not a drill. Bat. I bat. I hear your faces. You see me. It's subjective, but the same. We are the other, to our own other. Connected, but separate. Distinct, yet entangled. Like particles in the quantum enigma. Some physicists may approve. Some philosophers be dismayed. Some physicists dismayed. Some philosophers may approve. It's an entangled enigma. Bye, bat. Oh, hello. My name is Damon Cari, and I have a poster here at the conference as well entitled Looking Beyond the Limits of Physics. I hope you have a chance to check it out. And the title of my poem today is Bat. Bat, bat, bat. Incoming bat. This is not a drill. Bat. I bat. I hear your faces. You see me. It's subjective, but the same. We are the other, to our own other. Connected, but separate. Distinct, yet entangled. Like particles in the quantum enigma. Some physicists may approve. Some philosophers be dismayed. Some physicists dismayed. Some philosophers may approve. It's an entangled enigma. Bye, bat.
Welcome to the Science of Consciousness Poetry Slam. Year's 2020, I'm Icahn, also known as Axis Mundi. Poetry called a miasma of musings. Gazing into delusions and their predilections for predictions, some foretelling of missed fortunes or misfortunes. Portents of doom-filled scenarios starting with points of origins, all gravitating back to singularities. Well-wishers of gravity when levity is needed to propel beyond the event horizons. Well beyond limits of knowledge, Raven has taken the light, so we might find ourselves within the realms of right. But some at the top of pyramids with their secret handshakes quiver at the apex, afraid of falling down from precarious perches. Built upon silver spoon wretches, soon their stomachs convulse as they gasp for air, choking on their own regurgitations of misinformation. Spewed forth for narcissistic motivations, removing all motion from progress in a morass of a hominid's ass. The de-evolution is complete as the dolt plays the idiot's fool in an uncompromising existence of expunged ignorance and denial, the only faults of which are the real shortcomings of the clown prince of darkness. Darkness falls.
Hello everyone, I'm Karen Kohler, coming to you from Brooklyn, New York, with two poems that I'm delighted to contribute to the Poetry Slam of the Science of Consciousness Conference of 2020, sponsored by the University of Arizona at Tucson, which is my alma mater. I am a 1985 graduate of the U of A. The first one is called The Veil, and that is followed by a poem called In Recognition, and I chose both of them, keeping with the theme of consciousness, evolution, self-actualization. So first we have The Veil. Everywhere I sense the veil, my eyes conceal the view. I probe then only with my heart, until I know I'm through. The veil resists my bold, clean probe, casts life and death apart. So voice and brush and pen take I, and pry it with my art. In Recognition appears in my first publication of poetry called Petrichor Selected Poems. It came out last year in 2019. In Recognition. I entered the garden of myself and met a rosebud face to face. I followed the stones to the temple door, uneven, firm, and familiar, and heard a bird sing to me its song in recognition. I crossed the threshold and climbed the stair, and at the altar of myself I knelt before the one who waited there, her shadow long and broad, and turned myself in recognition. Into her outstretched hand I placed my cheek and sighed. As the light came through openings everywhere, and the rest of me stood watching, one semblance from every year, so 49, and circled in a chorus. All are here, I heard myself sitting say. With that I rose and left the way I'd come. As the bud closed its eyes to me and the bird took back its song, and the selves of my years watched me go, one number more than was before, in recognition. Hi, this is Karen Kohler, coming to you from Brooklyn, New York, which you may hear in the distance all around me, familiar signs and sounds of the cityscape. I'd like to also offer to the Poetry Slam of the 2020 Science of Consciousness Conference, sponsored by the University of Arizona, my alma mater in Tucson. It's called the Oversold Prayer, and it is a meditation that appeals to the highest manifestation of each of our individual souls. So I feel it's in keeping with this theme of our conference. I wrote this on June 10th, 2018, inspired by a prayer poem by the American Indian, Lakota Indian, Chief Yellow Lark, titled O Great Spirit of 1887. I drew the name Oversold from an 1841 poem by Ralph Waldo Emerson, and also the name of an inspirational painting by my friend, the artist Alex Gray. O great Oversoul, whose breath fills my lungs and whose voice I hear in the space between heartbeats, hear me. I am small and delicate. I appeal to your grandeur and strength. Open my eyes that I may behold beauty in all the ways that are true. Unclench my fists that I may ready my hands for holding. Tune my spine that I may move effortlessly with wind, creature, and water. Make my lungs supple that they may feed from your fire without burning and feed you in return. Steady my mind that it may align with the signal you send and receive. Calm my heart that it may bloom freely into your highest knowing. Soften my belly that it may harbor the lessons you leave me under every leaf and stone. Center my seat that it may seal in your everlasting joy of becoming. Awaken my voice, that I will recognize its luster when you sound the call. I seek strength, not to defeat myself, but to align with the servant forces with which to lift myself up toward you. Make me always ready to come to you with clear eyes, open hands, and a willing heart. Help me to die each day with the setting sun and to be born each night with the rising moon. So when at last my light fades, I may come to you in love and common purpose as you lead me over.
Hey, this is Sky Nelson. I'm going to play you a song that I wrote probably 10 years ago called Temperature Rise and Fall. And this song spoke to me, the journey of awakening and becoming more aware of what's going on inside of myself while I'm watching climate change start to unfold. You know, the overwhelming nature of that dilemma and what it causes on the inside of us, the sort of disconnect and challenge of being alive right now. So this is based off an event that happened in the news about 10 years ago when a huge sheet of ice about the size of Rhode Island slipped into the ocean. A big ice sheet that we all were like, wow, this is happening much faster than we thought. So that comes into the song. Here you go. Temperature rise and fall. She asked of me, how can we become the ones we want us to become? When the barriers are rooted in, my vote is just another leaf on a surely dying tree. I'd rather just hide myself so no one knows about me. And I try with all my might to make sense of it all. When a giant Arctic sheet collapse is possible. Temperature rise and fall. Our world may be warming, but I can't tell that from here. There's something ever so beautiful about the stops and starts we make, and all the times we thought that we had it made. Look back and say, what happened there? Why did nothing change? And where are my younger days? I can't see them in my face. And I try with all my might to make sense of it all. When a giant Arctic sheet collapse is possible. Temperature rise and fall. My world may be warming, but I can't tell that from here. Oh, impatience gets the best of me. Oh, a hailstorm of urgency. Oh, I run so fast the grass can't grow beneath my feet. And I try with all my might to make sense of it all. When a giant Arctic sheet collapse is possible. Temperature rise and fall. My world may be warming, my world may be warming, my world may be warming, but I can't tell that from here. Hey, this is Sky. I'm going to read to you from one of my favorite books, The Essential Rumi by Coleman Barks. Jalaluddin Rumi was a Persian poet from the 13th century, and I love his poetry, his ecstatic writing. Dying, laughing. A lover was telling his beloved how much he loved her, how faithful he had been, how self-sacrificing, getting up at dawn every morning, fasting, giving up wealth and strength and fame, all for her. There was a fire in him. He didn't know where it came from, but it made him weep and melt like a candle. You've done well, she said, but listen to me. All this is the decor of love, the branches and leaves and blossoms. You must live at the root to be a true lover. Where is that? Tell me. You've done the outward acts, but you haven't died. You must die. When he heard that, he lay back on the ground, laughing. and died. He opened like a rose that drops to the ground and died laughing. That laughter was his freedom and his gift to the eternal. As moonlight shines back at the sun, he heard the call to come home and went. When light returns to its source, it takes nothing of what it has illuminated. It may have shone on a garbage dump or a garden or in the center of a human eye. No matter. It goes, and when it does, the open plain becomes passionately desolate, wanting it back.